fatal heart impacts, past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful bars and pass. I back up my actions, fact don't ask, grab reactions, jacked attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose, pick a new silver excuse. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember, you're discreet out. Get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirusho here, and now, whenever we last left off, Izuku Midoriya, he witnessed horrors beyond comprehension, and it was frightening, to say the least. Midoriya not only felt people screaming out for help within the Emperor's body, he also did watch that very same Emperor annihilate galaxies, just because Midoriya did not want to listen to him. Now, with that being said, there is also the threat he did make. For every day that Midoriya goes against him, 3 galaxies will be destroyed. Every single day. For 1 month. Now, with that being said, Midoriya, he arrived on Vados' planets. After, he did have a bit more of a, well, I don't know what the right word would be to use here. I guess you can call it a outburst. Actually, that fits perfectly. Now, with that being said, Midoriya, his outburst was done after about 4 days. And he did return back to Earth. Midoriya's family intensely training on the lookout. And Vados actually giving Midoriya a few ideas. Midoriya was out in space training for a long time. Back whenever he was younger, after Janemba, correct? Midoriya basically explaining that yes, he was. And Vados asked him if Midoriya did learn anything handy then. Otherwise, if he does need to look for extra help, ask the Supreme Kai and Elder Kai. Now, Midoriya does actually listen. And he does actually begin to remember something that he did pick up. He completely forgot about this. But that was only because it wouldn't have been useful against Cell. Now, with that being said, Midoriya, he does arrive on the lookout. Momo and Mina greeting him with a hug. Now, as soon as that does happen, Midoriya actually does have Wakashi and his daughters come running up to him, asking exactly where their father has been. Now, Midoriya does explain. He's trying to learn something. In fact, there's also something that he does want to teach them all. It's very important. Him actually walking past all of them and saying that they need to use the time chamber now. Now, this is when Momo actually does inform him. They can't. Midoriya says, spinning back around. What are you talking about? Well, Dad. Kaito and Bakugo are in there, along with Kirishima. Really? Wait, why are 3 people in there? They can't be. Actually, Midoriya is turning his head and seeing 2 Namekians, Piccolo and Dende. Dende informing Midoriya that they've actually been trying to figure this all out. They're not really too sure how much Saiyans need to eat on a daily basis. So they've been trying to stockpile some extra food. Along with that, there's the fact that with how many Saiyans are here, they put a lot of food in the time chamber. So, I don't think that they would have to worry about how many people are in there right now. It's a matter of the fact of how fast they would burn through all of that food. Now, Midoriya does actually greet Dende. Dende actually greeting Midoriya and asking exactly how has he been. Midoriya basically giving him a rundown. The Emperor is fucking horrifying. Dende agreeing. Now, with that being said, Midoriya does actually get everyone together. And he does actually inform Piccolo to come over here. Piccolo agreeing, but confused. Asking exactly what is Midoriya doing. Well, this is going to be a bit tricky. Basically, I need to teach them all something. Midoriya informing Wakashi that whenever Kaito comes out of the chamber, he must also teach him this. Midoriya then doing what appears to be a strange dance, or the Metamorph Fusion dance. Now, Midoriya does explain that this dance is supposed to put two people's bodies together, and apparently give them some phenomenal power. Him explained that he has never done the dance with somebody before, but apparently from what he was informed about, it's very perfectionist. If you even mess up one single step, your power might either drop dramatically, you'll be weakened, or from what he's seen, you will come out wrong. Now, with that being said, you do have Momo and Mina, who are all also talking. Mina actually remarking that this sounds a lot like what she asked Capito Kai about. Kabito? Who's that? I think that was the name of the guy with red hair? The guy with Shin. Okay. But what did you ask him about? Oh, I asked him about the earrings they always wear. I was curious about it. Apparently, it also does have to do with fusion. However, it is different. Really? What do you mean different? Well, I mean, it kind of does the same thing that Midoriya is talking about, but you don't have to lower your power level. Really? So they might be better in the situation then? Probably. But we don't know the multipliers for both levels. It could be the same? Different? I don't know. Good point. Now, with that being said, this is where, eventually after the full day, Bakugo does come walking out with his son. Bakugo actually remarking that Midoriya has been gone for one hell of a long time. Hey, Bakugo. Hey, Midoriya. Kirishima walking out behind them and saying, Yo! Now, as that does happen, Bakugo does go on remarking that he's fairly certain that he surpassed Midoriya now. Really? What makes you think that? Bakugo remarking that he was already on the verge of doing it, but it took a little bit more encouragement before he sparks up into Super Saiyan 2. And Kirishima actually has informed Bakugo that he needs to not do that. Come on, Kirishima, you can do it too. Besides, even Kaito can. Midoriya asking Bakugo exactly what does he mean by that. Well, if you must know, we've all been training our asses off. In fact, we only rested for almost, what was it? 2 weeks in total in the time chamber. That is how long we slept. In fact, with our enhancements, we barely need to anyways. If we wanted to, we could pass time with it, sure. But other than that, there would be no need to. So I can tell you, Midoriya, I am going to destroy the Emperor. Especially after the fool he made me look. Good job with that, Bakugo. So, exactly what did you learn in there then? Did you learn any new techniques, any new ideas how to defeat him? Don't worry. For right now, what are you going to do? Well, I came here to teach everyone something, and I did. Also, I did want to... Midoriya actually looking towards his family, before simply just thinking. He wants to try something out in the time chamber. However, he is going to need to go alone. Now, Midoriya actually does go to walk towards the door. As he actually does stop before he does walk in, turning back around to look at his family. And you do actually see a look of worry come onto Momo and Mina's face. Both of them actually staring at each other. As Midoriya actually does give a slight smile before closing the door. Now, Midoriya is going into the time chamber alone, by himself, with nobody else around. Now, Midoriya would begin his own training. And, while that's happening, Bakugo and Kirishima are being informed about what has happened. Now then, with that being said, Bakugo actually does look around Earth to try and find the Emperor, discovering that 3 new galaxies have been destroyed. So, they do know where out in space he is right now. But is he ever going to actually show himself? No. The Emperor, he actually does teleport back to Earth, arriving there instantaneously as he actually does give a news broadcast, interrupting one by grabbing the person by his head, before swiftly just smashing him onto the table before throwing him to the side, before announcing that he just destroyed 3 brand new galaxies, asking the hero Izuku exactly where is he. If he is going to face off against the Emperor, then he should do it now, while he's here. Otherwise, he is going to go out and destroy 3 more, just to make another example. Him actually saying that he might also just go for the homeworld of the Saiyans, since he cannot find the mysterious planet that the demons live on. Their pesky magic is in the way. In fact, if Midoriya doesn't show himself soon, then he will just simply go after the ones outside of his jurisdiction. Now, unbeknownst to everyone, the Emperor, he is actually just destroying random galaxies. Ones that were either of no use to him anymore, or he has not done anything with. They could hold vast resources, but he does not care. Him being a madman. Now, Bakugo actually does go to fly out and meet the Emperor, assuming that with his new Super Saiyan 2 power, he can do something. Now, with that being said, he does go to face off against the Emperor. Him actually being able to fly through a wall and see the man, bringing his hands up and smashing the man through the wall. Now, the two go flying, and Bakugo is pushing the man. Him actually going into Super Saiyan 2 before zooming off, smashing the Emperor into a mountain before the Emperor actually does get back up. And Bakugo, he actually does go and increase his speed. Him flying straight past the Emperor once again, before zooming back around and trying to go for a really fast punch. Now, Bakugo is trying to do quick pot shots, knowing the Emperor's strength and speed are high. However, Bakugo doesn't have to worry about massive stamina drain. With his Infinity Engine, he should be able to produce enough stamina, or mostly speed, to keep his body going for a very long time. So, he simply just does do that. Now, with that being said, the Emperor, he actually has watched Bakugo, flying and zooming past him at intensely high speeds. Everyone on the lookout actually watching this. Kirishima actually going to join in on the fight. Mina and Momo actually looking at each other and simply just thinking. They want to try and take a chance on the fusion technique. However, they do not really know if it would be a good idea. So the two simply just head to the battlefield separate right now. And they go to try and join in on the fight, leaving the kids all on the lookout. Now, Wakashi actually does talk to Kaito, who is now, I believe, only about a year and a half, or yeah, I believe a year and a half younger than him. Now then, with that being said, they do head out. Well, the adults head out to the battlefield while the kids stay behind. Now, eventually Mina actually does arrive. The Emperor actually looking straight at her and almost being fixated on her. As Kirishima is actually able to come in and smash him across the face in Super Saiyan 2, sending the Emperor actually flying away. Kirishima thinking that he was strong enough to actually hurt the man, not realizing that he caught him completely off guard. Now, Mina actually does power up and show exactly how far she has gotten in progress. Now, she might be the weakest one on the battlefield, but she still holds an enormous amount of power, especially whenever she transforms into her ultimate form. In fact, she would be stronger, if not probably, I want to say twice as strong, as Super Perfect Cell. If not, probably even triple that. Now then. With that being said, Momo also does transform into Super Saiyan 2. And everyone does actually commence the battle. Now, you do actually watch the Emperor, who does begin to toy with everyone on the battlefields. Everyone trying to attack and fight him all at once, along with Mina. Now, everyone is simply just fighting. Bakugo, Kirishima, and Momo. All these three gang up on the Emperor, trying to fight him as he simply just begins to morph his body and change around, dodging their punches easily and making them all hit each other. Or he simply just begins to mess around by grabbing their punches and throwing them away from his own body, before countering attack with his own. Now, I do believe that I should state this before I do continue. The Emperor was the threat to the original future timeline. For those of you who have not figured it out by the way I am currently wording everything. Now then, with that being said, let's continue. The fight, it is prolonged, and it is out for a very long time. For nearly 2 hours straight, the fight goes on. The Emperor simply just toying around with everyone as he does actually battle damage them a lot. Momo healing her own body and powering up to a higher level. Before you actually have Mina. Instead of going in and attacking the Emperor, she actually has bring up her own hands, and go to cast a magical spell, deciding that this might be the best option. Now, she actually does fuel her spell with ki, and she throws the attack at the Emperor. The Emperor actually being caught in her attack. Now, you actually watch as the Emperor's legs actually do begin to bind together. Before, his kneecaps do too. And then something wraps around his waist. Before also wrapping around his arms and forcing his wrists together. Then his forearms. Before he is simply just standing there, bound, in what could be key restraints. Now, he actually does begin to try and fight against these, finding them to be very interesting. Now, this is when Bakugo actually does go in, and he simply just begins to punch the Emperor across the face, over and over, punching him over and over and over as Kirishima actually does come in. And he lets a point-blank blast directly off on the side of the man's head. The Emperor still standing there, completely unfazed. And Momo actually does take notice to this. Her actually somewhat confused. How the hell can he keep going? This doesn't make any sense. Mina, you know anything that can stop him? Now, she just stands there with her hands folded together and her thumbs actually at her mouth, telling Momo that she is trying to concentrate. What do you mean? Mina going on to state that she can feel his power. He is slowly trying to escape, so she's currently feeling those bounds with her own ki. Somehow he knows how to escape. He's dealt with magic before. Now, Momo actually does take notice to this, as she actually does move forwards, going to join in on these attacks. Now then, the Emperor is standing there, completely unable to move, being attacked and basically overwhelmed. Those should be the words I use. However, after about 10 minutes of letting these mortals, or the sane brats, have their fun, he actually does begin to power up. Now, as soon as it does happen, Mina actually does drop down onto one of her knees, as she still tries to hold him with her magic. Now then, she actually does bring her hands outwards and begins to simply just begin to fuel her ki more into the bounds, as the Emperor actually does break the ones covering his wrist, before his forearms, bringing his hands up and grabbing Kirishima by his throat, and grabbing Bakugo with his other hand, smashing these two's heads together as he just throws them away, before grabbing Momo, and picking her up high, asking her exactly where is the Saiyan, the other one. Midoriya. I believe that is his name. He's busy. Not going to tell. That is disappointing. I see. Him bringing his hand up, and blasting a ki blast directly through her body. This hitting her in the gut. Her coughing and spitting up blood directly into the man's face, as he does actually toss her to the wind. Now, the kids on the lookout are actually watching that, and Wakashi gets extremely angry seeing that, powering up as he actually does go to leave, before he's actually grabbed by Hope and Etza. Now, they explain to him not to do that. He can't fight the Emperor. If Mom couldn't beat him, then neither can him. Now, he does tell them to let go of him, and they actually do hesitate. Now, with that, the demon does actually go to walk over to Mina. Mina running over to see Momo, and trying to ask her if she's alright. Momo actually does bring up her own hand and cover her chest, trying to heal her wounds. Now, she does at least heal the lethal injury or the life-threatening injury before she passes out. It's not completely healed, but it is somewhat stable. Now, with that, this is whenever the Emperor does actually inform them. He wants to see Izuku Midoriya, informing them that if he does not see Midoriya, then the next time he sees them, he will kill them. The game was quite fun. And you, demon, where is your planet? Now, Mina just stands there somewhat in fear, as she actually just grabbed Momo, looking down at her and checking to see if she still does have a pulse, bringing her fingers to her neck. As soon as she did actually do that, she actually does bring her fingers up to her head, quickly, and she disappears. The Emperor quite surprised by that. That was not magic. And he does actually get extremely furious at that. Now then, with that being said, Bakugo and Kirishima are still left on the battlefield. However, the Emperor is completely enraged. He doesn't want to destroy Earth just yet. He's going to cause more havoc to get Midoriya's attention. Maybe then he'll actually pay attention. In fact, he has the best way to do that. Now, with that being said, the Emperor takes off into space. And, meanwhile, within the hyperbolic time chamber, we do have the Prince of all Saiyans, Izuku Midoriya. He has spent his year trying to push further past those walls and gain control over his seemingly unnatural power. Now, Midoriya is still quite worried about the effects it would have during his fight, and whether or not he'd be able to destroy the Emperor or not. He still does find it to be unbelievable, however. The amount of power that man wields. It terrifies him to his very core. However, trying to figure out a plan against him is hard, other than just sheer brute force. So, this is going to be difficult. Hopefully, however, he is able to take him down or buy time. In fact, he should actually ask Vados to look after his kids. If she can take them within the time chamber and actually push them in training, then maybe they can stand a chance. However, he should also talk to Mina and Momo. Maybe if they use the Metamore infusion, they might be able to stand a chance too. Ultra Instinct might also work, along with like high energy. Shit. There's too many things going on. Maybe I can Hakai him. But after Mom and Dad, that's risky. Especially with those screams. The man's terrifying, I'll give him that. But those sounds I hear from him, they're just cruel. If I destroy him, what else do I destroy? Innocent lives? Hell. This might all be a bit more crazy than I thought. Now, Midoriya does step out of the time chamber, and the world he walks into seems to be a little bit more different. Midoriya's kids do seem to be a bit more frightened, along with Momo, Mina, Kirishima, and Bakugo. They're all sitting there in silence. As Midoriya, he actually just asks what's going on. Before they break the news to him, they angered the Emperor, and they tried to take him down. All four of them against that man could not do it. Especially with the fact that they were all, well, three of them were using Super Saiyan 2. Along with that, there's the fact that the Emperor, them telling Midoriya the truth. Midoriya listening in horror as he realizes what happened. The Emperor destroyed South Galaxy just to prove his point. Now then, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed and have an amazing night. I will catch you guys in the next part.